93 KHJ, American Samoa's best music mix. Samoan Sunrise here on a Friday morning, and happy Manua Day to everybody who is listening. We get things going here. We welcome Congresswoman Amata on the airwaves of us here today. And Congresswoman, it's so good to talk to you. It's been quite some time, and just want to see how you're doing up there.
Oh, I'm doing okay, but I'm very homesick, John. Very homesick. I miss that Taro and Pausani.
I can imagine so. Now, we have been monitoring the Matt K reports that come out of Washington, D.C. pretty regularly, and looks like some exciting new developments as it relates to Medicaid. It seemed like there was almost a quagmire there for quite some time, and it looks like we're out of the woods. And maybe you can shed a little bit more light on that and break that down for us and our listeners.
Okay, well, as you know, for years, we've had the standard federal match, which was 55% feds paid, and American Samoa paid 45%. And then in 2019, we got a breakthrough in legislation by getting the federal match changed from 55% to 83%. So all the territories and representatives worked together and got that done in Congress, but it was not guaranteed for the long term. So the new rate started in January 2020, and that was a major breakthrough. But the next step is making it long-term. So we're now moving forward on an 8-year agreement. It's called the Supporting Medicaid in the U.S. Territories Act of 2021. I feel great about its prospects because the chairman and ranking member of the committee with jurisdiction support it. There's already bipartisan support. And Chairman Frank Pallone and Ranking Member Kathy McMorris-Rogers have been just tremendous. The important thing about this 83% rate is it is the best in the nation. It is the highest match allowed except under emergencies or disasters. For instance, the match was waived for a while after Storm Gita, and currently the match is a little higher, 89.2%. as part of the COVID response. But the standard long-term rate has a ceiling of 83%. So we actually have a better rate than the states based on economic factors, and this bill won't prevent future emergency funding at all, but it ensures we won't suddenly lose funding. Now, this isn't the only Medicaid bill I've co-sponsored. There's another called the Insular Areas Medicaid Parity Act. That would lift the caps entirely, and that's a matter of equity with the states. Right now, our cap is not causing a problem because it's well over $80 million. So the thing is that $80 million, I mean. So that was another big victory in 2019. We were able to change that cap from $12 billion all the way up over $80 million, a 600% improvement. But looking to the future, the principle is the states don't have caps, so we shouldn't either. There's fiscal opposition to that based on the price tag for Puerto Rico. But to me, it's a principle. Even though our cap situation is okay right now, we're continuing to work to remove the cap altogether. So right now, we're moving ahead first with the 8-year plan for our 83% match. That gives us stability and helps us plan. We reached agreement late last week, announced it over the weekend. I co-sponsored the bill introduced Tuesday, and the Health Subcommittee and the Energy and Commerce Committee already passed it on Thursday. So full committee next, then the full House of Representatives, then the Senate. Several steps to go, but I'm really optimistic. So there's motivation because of a deadline, and it's called a fiscal cliff on September 30th, 2021. But it's important. As you know, our people depend on Medicaid services, so we want this steady funding in place that we can count on. Healthcare priority is top priority in Congress. I actually testified before this same committee, the House Energy and Commerce Committee, a few months ago. I talked about our Medicaid needs, including the federal match, and how we need a new hospital. And I'm encouraged that we have $22.5 million in planning money that was added to the bill at our request for ASG operations from DOI. As you know, the money, whether it comes out of DOI or wherever, every single cent that goes to American Samoa comes out of Congress. Congress accepts or rejects all or part of the president's budget. Anyhow, this is a mouthful, but I'm almost done. And once passed, that would be 5 straight years of increases after decades of no change at all for that fund. So this time, the increase is designated for hospital planning. So that's a change that the committee decided. And it's showing that we're getting some attention to this major need, following up on the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers study where they determined that the LBJ hospital is in a complete state of failure. So we take it step by step and we keep working. And that's really about it in a rather large nutshell.
Well, I know that this is something that you've been working hard ever since you got into office for several years now. So just want to congratulate you and your staff on working overtime on this. And, you hear about the bickering between Republicans and Democrats on CNN or Fox News, and it looks like you were quietly able to get this done for the betterment of the people of American Samoa. So malolava for that.
Thank you. Well, there's no questions that there are fiscal concerns about this. The debt grew fast. They worry about inflation, so they supported a robust response to COVID. But now they're ready to see spending move back toward normal levels, and they're sort of ready to turn the page. And our Democrat friends, of course, are talking another $3.5 trillion on top of all these trillions. So I do think there could be room for agreement on infrastructure that's already in the works. Heaven knows we need money for our infrastructures. And bills like the Medicaid priority. So we're just taking them one day at a time. But we do have key bipartisan support for Medicaid, and that is a very good thing. So thank you again, John, and have a good day. And I'll stop in and see you when I'm back on island again. Probably it'll be fairly soon. You never know.
All right. That'd be great. Thank you so much, Congresswoman, and all the best from all of us down here in Ponga. Malolava.